minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, everybody? How are you doing tonight? Where's everyone from? Where is everyone from on here? What's going on, Leaf Nurse? Government, Circulon, how are you? Misfit, good evening. 2020 Vision, good evening. Hope everyone is off to a fantastic Monday evening. What a weekend that was. That was a weekend full of fun. Let me tell you, starting off Saturday with the Ungovernable, I was happy that I had the opportunity to jump on there with that community, that group of friends. These people are unbelievable people who are all there for each other, and I'm glad that people were able to raise some of the money to go towards Jeremy McKenzie's legal defenses. That being said, you can still go on the site and donate. Say you get paid this week and you wanted to contribute to his defense, you can still go ahead and do so. We are going to transition to the fun that transpired yesterday, though. A flyer came to light earlier last week, and what happened is there was a drag event in Niagara at the Vegan Hippie Chick. The Vegan Hippie Chick, downtown Welland on East Main. They had a drag time brunch, and I don't think anyone would take issue with a lunch for people who are a part of a community like that. But the issue is that it was all ages and children were welcome to attend. Now, we're in a time right now where we're seeing all kinds of things with these children on camera. You know, we're seeing we're seeing things happening to children that shouldn't be happening to children. We're seeing children straight up indoctrinated right in the open eye. And we're at a time where if you question these things or you say anything about these things, you know, society looks down on you like you're some bad person. But no, you're doing the right thing. You're questioning things. Who are you going to trust? Are you going to trust the government after what they just put us through for the last 2-3 years? Yeah, this is a safe spot for all kids. They're all safe here, of course, right? So, you know, one of the most concerning things is as soon as this, you know, as soon as people started to see what's going on here, you know, they had to go ahead and, you know, make their narrative right away. You know, they don't want you to garnish any support. You know, if you are organizing this event, they want to scare you. They do not want you to use your voice. They want you to get in line. They want you to comply, and they want you to do whatever they want you to do. They don't want you to think differently. They don't want you to question them. And they just want to make you look like shit straight up because they want you to follow suit with the rest of the world. So last week, a poster was made, and it was made to let people know that this event was going on at the Vegan Hippie Chick, and that if people wanted to come out and protest all ages drag events, that people would be going there at 10 o'clock in the morning. Right away, it didn't take too long for everyone to hop on board and start freaking out. You know, the city of Welland, the Niagara Regional Police, the BIA, Pride Niagara, Liberal MPs, NDP MPPs, they're all same. We know they're all the same people. So what do? Well, what they've been doing this entire time. Anything they can grab onto that's political and use that to possibly garnish support, that's what they do. That's what they do. They don't look at the part that says we take issue with children being at an event, potentially being groomed and indoctrinated. That's what we take issue with. The first thing they do is turn everything around. They don't want to listen to you. They want to paint you as the villain. They want to come out there and they want to tell everybody that you're against the LGBT community, that you hate gay people, that that's why you're out there. You're not out there because you're concerned about children at all. So I want to pull up first what I seen last week come out. So as soon as someone put a flyer out saying that there's going to be a protest, because they didn't feel like, we didn't feel like, this is appropriate for children, especially with some of these disturbing videos we've seen with things that are going on. So let me pull this up here for you guys. Okay. So this is a statement from Vance Badaway and Chris Biddle on the planned Pride Niagara protest. For some of you who may not know who this is, Vance Badaway is the member of parliament for the Liberal government, and Chris Biddle is also a member of parliament for the Liberal government. His riding is in St. Catharines. Now, Vance Badaway and Chris Biddle are impossible to get a hold of. If we lived in the world that we grew up in, if a community took issue with things that were going on, what they would do is they would get on their phone or get on their email and they would try and call up these people who are paid to represent them and let them know that they're frustrated. Let them know that they take issue with this. But the problem is these people won't talk to you. Chris Biddle is a representative in my region. I'm blocked from his Twitter. I can't even let him know about things I take issue with. I've tried to go to his office before. His office door's locked. You can't get in there. You can't ask questions. And it's all because of the Kung flu, the spooky virus, right? Nobody's at work. Nobody's answering questions. Nobody's answering emails. What else is new? So this was made available to the public, and it says, "We will not tolerate hate or threats of violence directed at the LGBTQ2+ community and stand firmly in our allyship with Pride Niagara. No one deserves to be harassed or attacked because of who they love or how they choose to identify." Let's ask a question right off the bat. Who said anything about harassing anyone? Who said anything about attacking anyone? Nobody. But this is the message these people want to do and put out there right away. Why do they want to do that? Because they want to make it look like you look like shit, and then they want to come swoop in and be the fucking superhero when they're not. They don't care about us. They never have. They care about things they can do for political gain. It's all a show. This is a circus. We strongly condemn the threats of protest. Whoa. Wait a second. The threats of protest? When did protesting become a threat? Is this something new? When did protesting become a threat? Protesting is a fundamental part of our democracy. But now you're putting out this piece of paper talking about protests being a threat. No, protests go on so other threats don't happen. That's what people do when their government and officials don't listen to them. They go out and they protest. We strongly condemn the threats of protest at Pride Niagara events and the continued bigotry faced by the LGBTQ plus community in Niagara. Wow. Continued bigotry. So if someone doesn't want their child at an adult-themed drag show, does that make them a bigot? Well, to the Liberal government, it does. Drag It to Brunch and other Pride Niagara events are important opportunities to showcase inclusion in our community and for the performers to express themselves through art. Because, we want to showcase inclusion, right, in Niagara. That's what we do right here in Niagara, right? That explains why we have a health crisis right now in the hospital. We don't have enough doctors. We don't have enough nurses. But you can't go work at the hospital and help out with a staff shortage if you do not have the vaccine. So go on, Vance. Tell us a little bit more about how inclusive you are in this community. Because I'm pretty sure the last time I checked, people aren't allowed to go play hockey. People weren't allowed to go and eat at restaurants. People were not able to exist in this world unless they succumbed to what it is you told them to do. As we've seen in other communities, threats against the LGBTQ plus to whatever alphabet, I can't read that all, can escalate violently. And it is imperative that we stand together as allies against hate. When did this happen? So right after Vance Badaway went out there and he put this up, Jim Fannin, I see you in there, and I want you to know, not only did I eat a hot dog, not only did I eat 2 hot dogs, I ate 3 big-time hot dogs. And it was a lot better than Big Time's mustard sandwiches that he normally makes. And am I boozing? I'm boozing Dr. Pepper, bro. All right, let's carry on. So right after Vance Badaway puts this out, okay, on behalf of him and Chris Biddle and in the Liberal government, who has some sustainable development goals that they need to meet, Jeff Birch comes to save the day. Yay, Jeff Birch. Everybody give Jeff Birch a clap. Give him a hand. Good job, Jeff Birch. So, Jeff Birch is MPP, okay? He has been for a while now, of the New Democratic Party, otherwise known as the Liberal government. Because, the Liberal and the NDP are the exact same. Jeff Birch puts up, hate and bigotry have no place in Niagara. I'm proud of the performers who share their talent and love with our community. It's great to see all the people who are giving support and love right back. The event is so popular, I couldn't even get a ticket. Well, you know what's interesting about that, Jeff? It wasn't sold out. It wasn't sold out. And you're going to be able to tell that as you continue to watch this stream. Because this male went there and he bought the last 6 tickets so he could parade in 13-year-olds. Yep. He paraded in a bunch of little kids in there. So you're full of shit, Jeff. Drag queens could be met by protest at Well and Brunch, Pride Niagara. Finds it odd people are suddenly targeting queer performances. Nobody was targeting queer performances. We don't need to get that straight because we all know this is just a bunch of gaslighting bullshit that they do all on purpose so they can usher in all these stupid fucking rules that they want to. Pride Niagara said it best. As a community, we get to decide if we will be a part of the solution or a part of the problem. At times like these, it's important we come together to be part of the solution. Thank you to Pride Niagara, their volunteers and partners, and the vegan hippie chick for doing your part in being part of the solution. I'm going to tell you guys a little interesting story about Mr. Jeff Birch there. I've had many meetings with Jeff Birch before. Hell, I've got pictures with Jeff Birch. I've been a pretty important member of Jeff Birch's community for a long time now, until I started speaking out against what the government is doing wrong. I used to go and speak with Jeff Birch often about the homelessness crisis and the opioid crisis that's going on in Niagara before that all just disappeared and went under the rug because it didn't matter because of the Kung flu. So why didn't Jeff Birch call me if he was so concerned that something was going on? He's got my number. I actually talked to him a couple months ago. Do you guys think maybe that Jeff Birch didn't call me because he knows if he called me, I would have said all the right things? He would have realized there was no issue? He would have realized there was no threats of actual violence? That wouldn't be good for the media, would it? That wouldn't be good for the government's narrative, would it? It's unbelievable. Everything that's... Hold on, let's read what Blinks is saying here. Jeff, I'm going to check the chat, guys, because I haven't been doing that, and I'm just getting new to this, so yeah, let's check with the chat. Jeff Birch was virtue signaling and hyping the very danger. Edgar Forster says, the cops and other Alphabet agents should be worried about their families too. We aren't the bad guys in this. Edgar, I can tell you that a lot of police officers support this and this cause and what's going on. Of course, that's why politicians are doing things like this, because, they wouldn't want to get caught supporting something like this, right? So, yeah, when I was there this weekend, I noticed a familiar face that walked in there, and it was my good old friend Chris Biddle himself. Now, Chris Biddle, why would Chris Biddle turn down the opportunity to go to an all-ages kids drag show? Duh. Obviously, Chris Biddle is going to be there. Why wouldn't he, right? Hello. So, this is we're going to get into a couple videos here quickly, and actually, before we do, I want to mention that there was also a flyer about an event that was going on Saturday night in the town of Fort Erie, in Mayor Redekop City. It was an all-ages drag event. Now, not only was this an all-ages drag event, okay? Not only was this an all-ages drag event, but it was adult-themed. The flyer that I posted read, adult-themed drag event, all ages. Why do we want to welcome kids to an all ages drag event? I have talked to many drag queens myself who say children belong nowhere near a drag show. And in the next week or two, I'm actually going to be jumping on a live with a drag queen and another person from the community who's very thankful for all of you that went out there and stood against this and stood for them, because there's a lot of good people in that community who are sick and tired of seeing children being groomed. Okay, so we got Razor 4455 on Twitter. Me protesting trans drag story time while the police allow me to be assaulted and do nothing. We'll give this a watch. Sorry, I'm just seeing you guys saying no audio. Hold on, let me fix this up. Remember, I'm a newbie here. Thanks for being patient, guys.
I'm being harassed here. Hey, he won't let me go through here. Can you let me walk through here, please? I can't watch. I'm trying to walk through. Guys. Okay. This is exactly what we don't want.
Get him off of me, please. Get him off of me.
Listen.
Let him walk through.
This guy's assaulting me. You okay with this? This guy's assaulting me.
I don't really want to be pushed.
Should I walk
either.
down the sidewalk?
I'll go,
I walk down the sidewalk, guys. I want to walk down my sidewalk. Can I want him arrested for assault though, right here? Yeah, I can talk. I don't want to talk. I'm being harassed here.
It's hard to watch, you know. I just have to laugh at this stuff sometimes, because this gentleman here, Ray, anybody who's from Niagara, they know who Ray is. We'll just say that. Ray's changed his life a lot. But, you know, they talk about how angry and how aggressive and how full of hate we are. Meanwhile, this gentleman right here, our friend from Antifa, the Ideally Motivated Violent Extremist Organization, has put his hands all over Ray. And thank God that Ray has the tolerance he does, because I'll tell you, this guy's been bouncing in Niagara for 30 years, and his nickname's Bam Bam. Let's just say that. So you're lucky that people are actually this tolerant and in control of themselves this much, clearly unlike the other group of protesters who are putting their hands on people right in front of the police. Here's the second video of Ray.
I'm being harassed here. Hey, he won't let me go through here. Can you let me walk through here, please? I can't watch. I'm trying to walk through.
Body checks him. Body checked him.
Get him off of me, please. Get him off of me.
Let him walk through.
This guy's assaulting me. You okay with this? This guy's assaulting me. walk down the sidewalk.
I don't really want to be pushed.
Can I walk
either.
down the sidewalk, please?
How's it going,
Can I
buddy?
walk down the sidewalk, please? I want to walk down my sidewalk, please. You're dead. Can I want him arrested for assault, though, right here? Yeah, I can talk. I don't want to talk. I want to walk. I don't want to yell. I don't want to yell either.
How do you walk around these people? You walk around, you circumvent them. You need to get them back.
Excuse me. This guy's putting his hands on me. This guy's putting his hands on me. You want me to put my hands on him? Okay. Nice. You guys are a good job.
Hey, how are you?
I want to walk down the sidewalk. Excuse me. I want you to walk down the
How do you walk for
I
somebody?
want to walk down the sidewalk. Why are you condoning this, officer?
How do you walk for somebody that's standing there? You walk around.
I'm going to walk around here.
You walk around.
I want to get over to that side over there where my friend is over there. Hey, excuse me. Sure, thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. I'm going through. No, you're not. Well, this officer said that you're not going to move.
You know, for somebody so smart, Bruno, you really need the police to help
How's it going?
yeah, you gotta
Hello. All right, guys. We've seen enough of you know, that part there. Yeah. You know, I'm looking at the comments here, and we see James just, you know, put a good one. Got cops who know who their boss's friends are. Yeah. I mean, we know the political pressure that's being put on these people. And you know, I don't support that, because I stand up for what I do, just like you all do, and that's not a good excuse, not a good enough excuse to me. But you know, in all honesty, I do have to admit that the cops that were on location that day, they definitely didn't take any sides. They facilitated a protest, I think, as good as they could have. But you're right. If Ray was putting his hands on the other people the way that dude just was, yeah, he would have been arrested immediately. So we all know this, though. We've known that for a long time, that this is not a fair playing board. You know, everyone doesn't get treated the same. You know, you're either with them or you're this villain. You're either in or you're out. That's how this club works. James says the separation of policing and politics is getting thin. That's a very good point. A very good point. And we've seen that with what's gone on in Ottawa over these past protests. We have seen that, you know, politics and policing are very intertwined with each other now. And it's almost, you know, like that line is non-existent. It is fading thinner and thinner by the day. So I just seen this before I hopped on. Okay. So this is from Pride Niagara. This is their press release. Okay. So this came out after yesterday. Thank you to all the amazing community members, allies, and supporters who stood together against the hatred and bigotry towards Pride Niagara. Our local drag artist and our LGBTQ2+ community. That's hard to say. No wonder Trudeau fucks that up every time he tries to say it. Your display of courage and dedication today was truly empowering. Working together, committed to a Niagara where all communities are respected and celebrated, except for the unvaccinated. Hate and bigotry have no place in Niagara. Thank you to Niagara Regional Police Services for collaborating so closely with us to not only ensure everyone's safety, but respecting our community concerns and antiquity. Thank you to the city of Welland and Welland Downtown BIA for standing with our community in solidarity and pride. Thank you to the Vegan Hippie Chick for being as dedicated ally and supporter all year round, for choosing to use today's protest as an example of how to be a true ally, even at the risk of personal loss. As a community, we get to decide if we will be a part of the solution or be a part of the problem. At times like these, it is important we come together to be a part of the solution. Pride, Niagara. And you guys, you know what's interesting? Like I said, these politicians weren't outside there protesting. They were not outside there protesting. And why do you think they weren't outside there protesting? Because they would have had to face people. They would have had to face people like me. You know what that means? They would have had to actually answer questions. These people don't want to answer questions. They want you to think that they have all the solutions. They want to create a problem and then provide you with a solution. And that's why they're going along in the newspaper, going along on Twitter, trucking along everywhere like there's some big victory, like they chased all these people who were concerned about children out of town because they want to create hate. They want to create division. They don't want you to get along. They want to fight while they distract you and continue to push forward with their radical left agenda. That's what they want to do. All right, guys. Now we're going to go to, we're going to do like a little, we'll just go through this. I wrote down some special time slots where, there were some interesting things that were going on. So we'll go through this in real time and we'll check them all out. Let's start just checking out my notes here. Hey, there we go. Right there. Come on, Blinks. 70 watching, only 31 likes. I like that. Especially anyone who's on YouTube right now, guys. This, I'm just getting started at this. If you can go to this post and like this right away, that will bump it up and it will put it out there so we can get this out to an audience of people who need to see it. I seen that Crystal Peters was in the chat. Here's Crystal Peters. A lot of the cops don't even realize the bigger picture. Trust me, I can see it in their eyes. When I talk about puberty blockers and show them the books and speak about conversion therapy being illegal in Canada, I can literally see them connecting the dots when I talk. One of the officers on the line at Boston Pizza was visibly having a hard time keeping her composure. She was almost in tears. If you guys don't know who Crystal Peters is, she's up on the screen here. I would suggest you go and follow her. This lady is an angel. She is doing God's work. I don't know her that well. I've just gotten to know her. She's the little lady with the big voice. That's what we like to see, right? She's the lady that was just in Welland, and she read some stories to me, and I'm going to be bringing them up in this little video segment here, and you guys can be familiar with what's going on as well. But yeah, if everyone on YouTube and Facebook can like this, share this out. Let's get this out there. Let's get more people on here, and let's get the truth out there. We can't slow down, guys. We cannot slow down. We are right smack dab in the middle of a culture war, and nothing is more important than the children who have to face this for the rest of their life. So I wanted to bring this up to, where do we want to start? We'll start it right here. That is so right there, right here. This is Chris Biddle, the member of parliament for St. Catharines. Literally front row seat, right? He's at the Vegan Hippie Chick for an all-ages drag event. The night before, there was another all-ages drag event for an adult-themed drag show. Shame on you, Chris Biddle. Shame on you. Is Chris Biddle. That is Chris Biddle, the Liberal member of Parliament in there at a children's drag queen show. Chris Biddle. Oh, yeah. Watch this part. This is good.
You got a child. You okay?
If you remove a kid from an adult theater.
He literally got this.
Whoa, the left is fighting with the left. Yes, they are. Oh, man, let's talk about this quick. The left is fighting with the left. Guys, it is kind of funny to see. The left is at war with each other. Who did not see this coming? Because I can tell you that I seen it coming a long time ago. So what's going on right now is these people, all these people from anti-hate, Antifa, and then there's, Caryma and Lee, her photographer. They are all fighting with each other. And it's hilarious because, we see these politicians put these things out during the week about, hatred and violence and being concerned about these things coming to our community. Now, you want to know what's interesting about that? What's interesting about that, anyone who's at this protest can tell you, there were 3 different assaults that happened here. Nobody got charged. Actually, 4 because of what happened to Ray. So, Caryma's boyfriend got thrown on the ground. Sorry, I shouldn't say her boyfriend. I don't know if that's her boyfriend. Lee or camera guy, whatever. He got thrown on the ground. Okay? Then he got thrown on the ground again. Ray had that guy's arm around him, pushing him, bumping into him. And then at another point, somebody took their flag, a transgender flag, and they stabbed it into somebody's gut. Okay? You want to know the truth? I honestly seen more violence at this protest than I seen at the entire convoy all together. And that's not a joke. But guess what? You don't see any reports of violence. You know why? Because that would look really bad for the narrative. That would look really bad for what the Liberal and all these politicians are trying to go for. Edgar says, we've lost enough now. It's going to affect them soon, and it will have nothing to do with us. We just tried to warn them, the awakening, the real one. No one notices it until it affects them personally. Couldn't have said it better. Blinks Web off. Everyone waved to the cops and feds. Rob said nice things about Jeremy McKenzie. Primo's on the terrorism watch list. Hello. Hi, CSIS. Hi, RCMP. Hi, all of you folks. Hi, Antifa. Hi, Liberal government. Hi, all of you. I know you come on here too. That's cool. Welcome. Do your fucking job. Crystal Peters. Yep. That's a big number. 100,000%. They are always hateful and violent on that side. Every single protest I've had, they have been hateful and violent, but they claim we're the hateful, violent ones. Crystal, it's funny you're on here because I was trying to find you earlier on the internet, and I didn't realize we were Facebook friends because I wanted to bring you on here with me tonight, and I thought maybe me and you could have a chat. But I guess I'm already into this. Okay. So what's the other part I wanted to get to is, this is a good part. Let me get forward.
The public does get angry about this movement towards our kids.
How about we do this?
Okay, but when the public.
Oh shit. We got to put her back on the screen here, folks. There we go. Do you mind if I put you on camera, or you don't want to be on camera? So this lady I'm about to talk to right here, who doesn't want to be on camera, who's standing with the people here right now, guess what?
Okay, but when the
She is gay. She is a part of the gay community, and she is very thankful that people are there.
They've infiltrated the gay movement with this transgender against our kids.
Yep.
They're harming our kids.
That's
and
right.
The gays will suffer, and they did not
do anything to deserve this, right?
In the gays against groomers,
they're not a part of this. I know. No. I'm friends with some of them. You probably have a conservative. Right. So, you know, what this lady's saying here right now is she came out and she's gay. She is gay. And she is sick and tired of her community being associated with whatever this is, with dressing up in lingerie and grinding up on kids. And I salute her for being out there. And when I got a chance to talk to her, she told me how many people are against this in her community, but they are scared shitless. They are scared to come out here and voice their opinion because they know how violent the people who want to push this extreme left agenda forward truly are. And I don't think anybody who is gay should be afraid of members from their own community. But she said she's at a point now where she doesn't even want to be associated with that community. And those are her words, not mine. Patrick says, you get glowies here? Must have pissed the right brown shirts off. Just like the convoy counter-protesters. Same thing. Aggressive and disrespectful from the live streams I watched. I couldn't agree with you anymore. Brad Lindsay says, I love it. Mr. Freedom's hot dogs. Yes, Mr. Freedom was there, and he had a cooler full of hot dogs. And, you know, Mr. Freedom's such a bad guy that we couldn't get rid of all the hot dogs that were there. So what do you think we did after? Yeah, me and Mr. Freedom spent our afternoon downtown Welland handing out free hot dogs to the homeless, going around giving them to people who didn't have meals. Edgar, more will come out too, folks. The intellectuals of the gay community will speak out. They come next. They want peace and respect. They don't want this. Chris Phantom says, my closest best friends are gay. I have a couple furry friends. I absolutely support as well. But they believe it's play between adults. Children need to be kids. They do not need to be cats. Glenn B says, hey, Robin chat, spank the like button and share. Hit that like button and share it out. Ex-gays via conversion therapy, bullied, excluded, attacked by their own former allies. Oops. And that's just it. A lot of people who come from the gay community, they had a hard time feeling comfortable. And now when they finally have a community that they felt comfortable in, who's starting to groom children, now they feel like they're alone because they don't want to play a part in that.
I just watched her film people, videotape people, and say what you guys look like. It's typical. Say she has a giant gun. Yeah, there's ladies with guns. Shut up. Don't you shut up. I fuck are you? And I'm explaining. I'm the one who said it. So you want me to explain? Then I'll explain.
So these people claim that they're all about love, but yet they're sitting here filming people, criticizing how they look.
No, we're saying what
Well,
they
they
look like. I'm
have
not criticizing.
a problem.
That's actually what they look like.
Actually, Mr. Freedom, your friend Mr. Freedom just said I look like I'm on drugs.
So maybe you are, but
Well, you know what, lady? I watched the way you were behaving yourself yesterday, and you sure did look like you were on fucking drugs. You sure did. You know, I'm telling you guys, as a guy who has been in a social work setting since I was 15 years old, I've never seen so many adults act so childish in my life before. What a true embarrassment. And there's just so much footage. I haven't even gone through all my footage. There's tons of footage everywhere. I haven't even had time to. And Grant says, Stewie, yeah, Leah was there yesterday. Leah is awesome. I asked Leah to join me tonight too, but I think she's a little busy. You know, she had done a great job putting together all the work for Ungovernable. Good job, Lee. And, so there was that. And then this on Sunday. Oh, there's Lee right there on Sunday. So, this isn't my finest moment. I get pretty angry here. Well, Lee, you know what? You are a realist. And yes, you are angry. But when we are standing there and we are sticking up for our children, that's when it's okay to get angry. It really is.
Susan, you're picking and choosing here.
Yeah, what you say is okay. I'm not okay about it. And it's not now. No, it's not. You're being serious. It's not. I want you to look at this video. I want you to look at this video and tell me what the hell this is. Tell me what that is.
You also
Tell me what that is.
you also walked up. You walked up and said
They're not my children.
you walked up and said you weren't filming.
This is so ridiculous. Have you seen a lady on the beach?
Who tells you how to raise your
Lady
kids?
on the beach. She has.
Okay. Nobody is telling you how to raise your children. We, the people of Canada, and anywhere in the world, we all have a right to make sure children are safe because they haven't been for so long. And you know who wasn't protecting our children when they weren't safe? The fucking government. Everybody who was supposed to protect the kids was not protecting the kids. The government, the police, doctors. So whose duty is it to protect children when they're not protecting them? Someone has to stand up and protect the kids. So thank you, Lee, for being there and doing that.
Who tells you? Who tells you how to raise your kids?
with core
Who
values.
tells you how to raise them? If I told you what to do with your kids, that's what you do, right?
No, the government's been trying to tell me what to do with my kids for 2 years.
Exactly. The government's been trying to tell us all what to do with our kids for 2 years. And if you don't do what they like, well, they might just send fax to your house, or they might just pay extra attention to your income tax, or they might just get you fired from your job. So make sure you do what they tell you to do. Okay, guys?
This isn't your side of the street. We put a
So listen to this lady. This is one of my biggest issues with all this rainbow stuff being thrown down your throat, stuffed down your throat, puking out rainbows on people. Okay? This is one of my biggest issues right here. This lady comes out here and says to get off her street, get off her corner. Are you kidding me? You know, all these people do is fight for inclusion while promoting segregation. That's all they do. That's all they've been doing. This country is more inclusive than it's ever been before. It really could only get better, but you choose to not shut up. You choose to keep going on about it. You continue to keep making problems where there is no problems.
Why isn't it there? It's a protest.
It's provocative.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. You came to our side of the street and you.
This isn't your side.
Did you hear that? Our side of the street. Well, who the fuck gave you that side of the street?
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. You came to our side of the street and you.
This isn't your side of the street. We put a perimeter up.
Now you're blaming sidewalks.
Questioning God and how He made me.
Pardon?
You're questioning God and how He made me. That's against the Bible, you dumbass.
Are you open to a conversation, or are you just?
That's against the Bible, dumbass. Bold of you to assume that I have anything to do with the Bible or God. Not saying I do or don't, but how does she know that? Or he know that? I'm not even misgendering. I'm not sure if this is a boy or a girl. How does this person know if I believe in God or not? You know why? Because they believe everything the TV, the newspaper, and the state propaganda puts out. Bad people, Russia's bad, convoy's bad, Canada flag bad. All these people are bad. I'm assuming she's referring to that Epstein's Bible. Edgar says, bingo, we are ours and theirs, paid for all of that street and the rest. Any fellow rednecks peg from Zip Ties and Bias Plies was at the convoy. If you like cold starts and blue collar humor, check out his channel and he's a Canuck. Oh, a little free promo there. Binks Weblef, against the Bible. I'm a former pastor. She's wrong. They assume everyone who is against this is Christian. Lee, you're right. You know, we're all the same. And like everything, me and you, Lee, everything about us is the exact same. You know, we enjoy the same entertainment. You know, we're all racist and we're all bigots and we're just all the exact same. We don't have our own personalities, right? Jim Thanen, we've never been more tolerant and inclusive. They're never happy. And that was probably the most true thing I've just read out right there. And it can't get more realistic than that. This country has never been more inclusive than it is now, ever. And I have a lot of friends who are gay and lesbian, and they tell me the same thing. And I have a lot of friends who are black and all these things that happened in the past that people want to keep bringing up and keep making worse and keep creating problems where there are none. They're dwellers.
Happily be open to a conversation if you come from true faith, but it seems you don't.
I do.
Then how come you let people in bikini ads on billboards? That affects children. How come you let them go to church by themselves with a man? When that man could be a convicted pedophile.
I have been protesting the Catholic Church for 10 years now.
Yeah.
It's a very...
Put her in her spot on that one. Why aren't you at the church protesting? Well, I'm trespassed from the Catholic diocese. I'm not even allowed to go there and protest because I've been protesting for children for over 10 years now.
Very sad story.
So then why aren't you on our side?
I have no issue at all with the LGBT community, gay. I have friends that are gay that are working inside here right now. You probably know him. I have no issue with that.
What the government's trying to do right now is paint all of us as homophobes, and that's the furthest thing from the truth.
But this isn't even anywhere. This isn't the place to do that.
Well,
this isn't government mandated, you know? This is just gay people trying to live.
This isn't government mandated. I don't know. This attack on children is pretty much coming from the government. Everything that happens, yeah. I don't think this person really knows what they're talking about when it comes to that at all. Let's go to, we are here now. What time did I write down? 26. Whoop. Oh, here's our friend. Hold on, I'm going to stop.
This is what they're teaching children.
Okay, so here's our friend Crystal Peters. Like I said, if you don't follow Crystal Peters, get on there, go give her a follow, check out her page, check out her. I don't know if she's got much content or what, but I know she goes live because Crystal is leading the charge when it comes to standing up for these kids, guys. I've been watching her for the last month or so. They've been going everywhere that these shows, these inappropriate shows have been going on for children. So cheers to you, Crystal Peters. Cheers to you, Nico, and to your circle of friends that are out there protecting children. Keep standing in the truth and shining in the light. I appreciate you, and I'm sure everybody else on here does too. Can I get it on video? Can you show me? Okay, so
this book is made for babies and toddlers. It's one of those hardcore books.
Yep.
So when you open it, that's what they're teaching children, toddlers, is a she.
Wow.
But they're not confusing the kids, right? This is harmless, right? No brainwashing happening here.
Yep.
And then let's look at this book.
Yeah.
Got this for 1 second.
Yep.
So let's go. This is Auntie Uncle Drag Queen Hero.
Yep. Auntie Uncle Drag Queen Hero. Okay.
Now watch this. Oh, look. Isn't that what every child should be looking at when they open a book? But this is okay to them. This is what they're fighting for. And I'm homophobic and a bigot because I believe children shouldn't be exposed to this.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever make this. They are young, impressionable children.
The best is the lady in the background here. I don't know. I probably shouldn't be calling anybody a lady or a male. Nobody knows who the fuck they are. It's 2022. Everybody's a this, a that, a whatever. I don't know. But when you get mad now, you just go and spin in circles. Holy shit. Like teenagers. Like a fucking teenager. Ooh. Unbelievable. Where were you when the indigenous children were murdered? Were you there, man? Were you there? Are you assuming that every single person who is here doesn't support indigenous people? Are you saying that the shitty things that have happened in our country's history, that nobody cares about them? If you care about children, you must not care about the indigenous, right? Because that makes a lot of sense.
Where were you when the indigenous children were murdered?
What does that have to do with what we are talking about?
Now it
What
matters.
does that have to do with what we are talking about?
Brother,
We are talking
hey.
about the brainwashing and sexualizing.
You need a hot dog, anybody? Anyone need a hot dog?
Anyone need a hot
Just
dog?
raise your hand. Need one? Hot dog.
Always have to bring up something else. Can't ever talk about the content.
Oh, here we go. Watch. This is where the guy falls over again. Oh, look, we got a big violet. Whoa.
Whoa, they're keeping people up here. That's the second time he's pushed them.
Oh no, Antifa, your mask is off.
This guy pushed me. Now he just threw him on the ground. You gonna do nothing about it? Why you do nothing about it? Really? Come here. Come here and tell me that over here. Come on over here. Please come over here. Please come over here.
Dude, that's the second time you've
That's
assaulted
the second
people.
time you assaulted somebody.
Come on, officer.
Are you allowed this, officer? You're on film, eh? You're on film.
The strategy right now is
I seen it again.
Stop touching me! Stop touching me! But no one's touching anyone until they do.
Oh dear. What a joke, guys. What a joke. It's just a clown world, right? So as long as we just remember it's a clown world. So like, yeah, here's Chris Biddle again. Just sitting there, you know, taking in the drag show with the kids in there, and you know, yeah, I'm this real cool liberal member of parliament who's so cool. You know, I come watch children drag shows, and then I put out a big memo and try and, you know, pin Canadians against each other because, you know, diversity and equity and inclusion, because like that's why, because SDGs, I'm important. I did a nice little interview with Karen. We won't go through that because it took a little bit of time. I know everyone just wants to see the action, right? Oh, this guy was just, what a mouth. Oh, this is the part where my audio cut out for a bit. I seen people were telling me that on the stream, and I didn't realize. Okay, we're going to go to... Oh yeah, this is an important part. So this is an interesting part of the protest. So I don't know what happened, but I know that. Okay, hold on.
That's not what they want to do, though.
Okay, so listen to this part, folks. This is where things got real interesting here. So all of a sudden, I realized that this window here, where Chris Biddle and company, the Liberal member of Parliament, we're sitting, all of a sudden they're gone, and not gone from the building, but gone from that area. As he leaves this area, I'm seeing members of the community are all coming over with their signs. And I'm thinking, what the hell is going on right now? What are they doing? They start to cover all of the windows so you cannot see inside the building. Now, you know, are we over concerned? I don't know, because I'll tell you what, when you block the window of an all ages drag event that children are at so people can't see inside, what are you hiding? You know, you had a flyer out for the public, but apparently you won't let people in who you know aren't approved by you, and now you're closing the window so nobody can see. And when these people moved, all of a sudden it was a table full of children, because this person's sign right here, they ended up moving, and then I could see in, and it looked like the children were well, it didn't look like, I watched, they were getting makeup put on them, and they had costumes on at this table here. So I don't know what was going on. Unfortunately, I couldn't see.
They're concerned about children.
If you're concerned about kids, why aren't they concerned about queer kids?
They're,
Why aren't they concerned about queer kids?
prioritize the safety of queer kids over the discomfort of adults. What can we do to help out queer kids more?
I said, yes, I am.
I said,
And he's like, you like sucking dick? I said, certainly did.
I said, oh, queers?
Yeah. No, you call me gay. I don't know why. Why would being gay be an insult? Why would you call me that? I'm inclusive too. I love fucking hot dogs, man. And I want to give you some. Well, then that's okay. Then why you yelling at me? I love you too.
Listen, Mr. Freedom likes hot dogs. He just wanted to go out there, give hot dogs to anybody who wanted hot dogs. That's it. He just wants to go around, hand out hot dogs, huck back a couple beers time and time again, and eat mustard sandwiches. And that's what Mr. Freedom does.
I love you. But I don't like Chris the diddle the biddles over there. One that I don't like. Certainly, yes. This is about children not watching sexualized performances. How do I know? You're blocking it all off. You've been here? You're outside. Are you telling me?
But it is hard to take your word that there's no
Because I've
kids in
seen
there
it all over
because I'm
social
like,
media.
why are they blocking
The
it
last
off?
drag queen that was invited to the White House in the States, this is the drag queen people. These like kids are for singing and sucking D.
Can I ask you another question?
Yeah. I just saw someone see online.
What's your opinion about kids being taken to Hooters?
The Hooters? I don't go take my kids to Hooters.
Okay, but what about other kids who are taking their kids to Hooters?
Women are fully clothed. They're wearing nylons and short shorts, and they have a tank top on. Their boobs are hanging out. I've seen videos of girls with like.
For the record, I used to go to Hooters with my buddies every Monday night because they actually had a really good deal on wings. I don't know if they still do. It was like $14.99 all you could eat, and we'd watch football. You know, like back in the day when I could actually watch football and enjoy sports and like hanging out with buddies. You didn't have to worry about, you know, your life being treaded on every day. You could actually enjoy it back then. Yeah, I don't see boobs hanging out at Hooters. You know, it's all kind of a that actually doesn't happen.
The guys with a G-string with fake breasts and then stars on their nipples walking around getting money shoved in their underwear. Yeah, money in their underwear. So why don't we do, hey, get this. So why don't we bag up little bags of sugar and doing cocaine and like some adult life stuff? That's cool, right?
Okay.
So you want to teach the kids to do drugs and cocaine now. See, that's the next step. When does this stop?
Do you care about your kids though?
I care about every kid. That's why I'm here.
Okay. So what about little kids?
So what? How old? How is a kid know when he's gay? He's only 3 years old. Why are you telling him what he is or not?
Okay. Crystal Peters says, why do they even keep bringing up Hooters? Who brings their children to Hooters? No one. But they keep saying this over and over. Yeah. It's that liberal tactic. It's that deflection. It's that don't pay attention to us. We just want to take your mind and put it over there so you stop talking about what's actually happening. That's what we want to do to you. Okay, the next part I wanted to bring you to is Nico. Because Nico was here. Nico was on the ground and organized this event. I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. Nico told me, put it out there. You know, I'm very proud to stand up for children. And, you know, Nico is a man of strong faith, and he lives by his solitude to Christ. And good for Nico.
You got no scooter today?
No.
Too much. Yeah, well, you guys got to travel all the way here.
I would have honestly, people are crazy. We're getting too much heat.
You know, there's us talking to Caryma and her camera guy. Like, people are starting to actually talk and, like, you know. But like, even like Caryma and her boyfriend have realized, or sorry, not her boyfriend, Lee, have realized how wild this other crew is. Like, they don't even want to be attached to these people anymore.
Hey, Nico, let's talk about today, brother. Why are you here? You've been advocating for kids. You really stepped up to
to speak up for these children?
Yeah, everyone, as you know, in the movement is here to protect the children from whatever the government poison is to other things. And I kind of had a feeling that this drag queen story time is definitely one to pay some attention to, because we've seen the books now, we've seen some of these drag queens and how the shows go. So that's why we've got people out here doing this, and I've been trying to talk to these guys, right?
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
Trying my best to let them know that we're not here spreading hate, we're not here to attack and put anyone in danger. So it's been good, productive, and we're just gonna keep going with it. Jeez, it's not easy, man. These guys are some next level liberals. Oh, great.
It's interesting, eh? It's interesting how, every time these events go on where people go, they go with the intention to protect children. They go to advocate for people who don't have a voice. And you know what happens? The politicians, the media, everyone working for that big fucking machine that's trying to march forward. They talk about threats, harassment, all these fancy buzzwords, bigotry. They talk about all these things to scare and fear and make people submit. But you just seen from watching this video, 3 different, they weren't very violent, but 3 different examples of violence being committed by people on the left. And it goes on and it goes on and it keeps fucking going on without being reported, without any attention, without any arrest. But let me tell you, if one of us accidentally tripped and bumped into one of them, holy shit, we would have got tossed in the back of a cop car and brought to jail. People are not treated the same. If you go against the grain, you're an enemy of the state, and they will make sure they let you know that. Andrew J. says, what's saddest is most of the kids that get dragged to drag brunches and story times are too afraid to cry. It'll ruin mom's Facebook photos. Ain't that the truth? There's an event going on at the theater here in my town, but I didn't catch if it's all ages or not. If so, I may have to go and make some noise. Patricia, I would encourage you to find out, and if that's the case, please make some noise and reach out to, Crystal and these other people who have been putting in all of the hard work to go to these events and make sure children are protected. And guys, you might see some of these people out there and think, what are they really doing? What are they really doing? Well, these events go on behind closed doors and no one knows what's going on. But when you bring attention to it and you bring it to the spotlight, the police are there on scene. People are on scene. It's bringing attention to this issue. It's doing something. It really is. Gary says, thanks, Rob. First time here. Gary, thanks for being here. Grant says, wear a pride flag to the event and get away with bullshit like Rainbow Antifa. That is true. Your favorite Karen says, our local drag personality ran for school trustee. Antifa has been getting into municipal government for a long time now, a very long time. Your regional councilors, full of Antifa. And that's why people need to pay attention to municipal politics. I'm telling you, I understand at a provincial level, at a federal level, these people are selected, not elected. I get that. But we can't give up at a municipal level. We really can't do that. Okay, we're at...
Like
With men in bondage?
Sure, yeah, like
Sure.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, so this lady, Crystal Peters, is going on showing me a book I'd never seen in my life here right now. 2 dudes in bondage. And she goes, you think the kids should be seeing this right now? And this lady goes, yeah, sure. You think kids should be learning about other kids in fucking bondage? Are you out of your mind?
That these children exist, right? Children who are already from a young age starting to understand that they're different than the heteronormative standards. They exist, and they need to be seen. And folks like this help them feel like
with
they're
men
seen.
in bondage?
Sure, yeah, like
Sure.
I have to teach my child the difference between a penis and a vagina.
Yeah,
That's an awkward conversation. I can't be throwing it. I can't
And
be
she just said,
throwing
yeah,
penis in
that
there.
you should have to learn
Penis
about
doesn't belong.
men in bondage.
No, I'm never normalizing this shit.
But they're not seeing grown men's body parts.
Yeah. If you have to take prep,
She's got a book with...
Children's book, Men in Bondage.
you have to take prep to turn your anus into a vagina.
Do you disagree? Maybe
Book after book.
do you disagree with the book, or you don't know?
No, they haven't read any of them. They're just defending it.
You know what this
Isn't that it?
Did you guys just hear that point that George made there? Because that's a powerful point. George is a good guy. A lot of people are up and down with George. Some people like George. Some people are like, wow, he's George. George is George, man. I like George. But that point he just made, let's go back and listen to that again. Listen to what he just said.
Yeah. If you have to take prep,
She's got a book with...
Children's book, Men in Bondage.
you have to take prep to turn your anus into a vagina.
Do you disagree? Maybe
Book after book.
do you disagree with the book, or you don't know?
No, they haven't read any of them. They're just defending it.
You know what this
Isn't that
story
it?
is actually about? You know what this story is actually about?
They haven't even read the book. They're just defending it. And that's exactly what it is. You are so blind, you're not even willing to look and think potentially, could there be a problem? Do we need to set up safeguards? Do more people externally need to come into these shows internally, undercover, and be here? What's the harm in trying? We know that you guys have no issue spending $50 million, $10 million investigating people who speak against the government, but you'll never spend anything to send in an undercover just to make sure everything's okay, right?
No, you want to know what this story is about? Go to the front page. This is about the Rainbow Pride
I
Parade.
love this girl.
This
I
is
love
a
her.
father and a mother who take their young daughter to the Pride Parade. No, I know she's happy. So they take the little girl to the Pride Parade, right?
Yeah.
So she's there. Now, as the professor walks by, they say to the little girl, you should join the parade. So they tell the little girl, you should join this side with us, okay? Now look at her. Look at the little girl.
Take your child.
Do you think I'm gonna send my 5-year-old to the fucking book?
But what if my 10-year-old doesn't
That parents her parents lift her over the gate after she says, I'm scared and I don't want it. They tell her, no, it's okay. Come on, let's go. Then she says, I was scared at first because I feel like I don't belong in this. But the more I clap, the more before they pass, and now everybody's passing, and it feels so good. So they took a little girl who was scared.
Trying to read, you should listen.
They took a little girl.
You should listen to the book.
But you're
So
scared.
hateful. Oh my goodness. Calm down. It's okay. Everything will be okay.
Back to the pod.
Sorry. Question. Question. This guy was unbelievable. You know, the one thing about this guy, and I don't know if my friend Lee's still on here or who's still on here, but you know what this guy forgot? This guy forgot that there's real men out there who actually respect women, who actually respect children, who actually protect these people. You know, you call people like me, people like my friends, misogynist and bigots. Boy, let me tell you, was it ever hard? And it took me being a real big person to watch you speak down to women the way you did, to speak down to children the way you did. This man was going on and on and on and on. And there was a 15-year-old high school student here who wanted to get a word in on a conversation and ask him a question. And he just dismissed her and said, you know what? You're 15 years old. You're just doing whatever your parents tell you to do because you don't understand, because you're only 15 years old. And you want to know what her response was? Exactly. I'm 15 years old, and you're saying I just listen to my parents and I don't even know what's going on. So if I'm 15, I don't know what's going on, I got to listen to my parents for everything. Then how in the fuck can an 8-year-old decide if they need puberty blockers and testosterone? Boy, did she ever put this asshole in his place.
Those are your children. Why are we saying that to all their children?
You did say that. You said that you want your child to be taught by a drag queen, right?
Yes, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't want him to be alone with a priest anywhere, that's for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that either.
I don't want him to believe in your God. Hey.
This guy came up to me as soon as I got there and started yelling at me, telling me that he wants his child to be taught by a drag queen. I'm like, okay, you want your child to be taught by a drag queen? Cool, I guess, like, whatever. He just kept screaming it. I don't want other teachers to teach kids. I only want a drag queen to teach. And I'm like, okay, man. Okay, buddy. Who said that?
You're out here hating. The only reason you guys are here is because you're pissed off about
Sir.
That's it. Well, then why is the flag? Why is the flag? Nothing on them trucks say anything about children. Nothing. It's not. And who cares?
Where did I want to go to now?
Sir, I am 15 and
Here you go, right here. Perfect. Watch, this is what I wanted you guys to see. Here, we'll start again.
Bring your kids to it. All kids.
It's about hate. That's the only reason we're here.
answer that.
Yeah. Would you bring your kids to a kids night at
Bring your child to a strip club, sir? Can you
Would
bring
you
your
bring
child?
You would bring your kids to a strip club.
Would you?
How did Jack start off? As adults and he's online too.
All right. We know who these people are. This guy literally said he would take his child to a strip club. And that's probably why he's trying to push everybody to bring kids to get groomed.
I have, and I've been to an all-ages private event in the middle of a mall where they.
Yeah, I went for a bachelorette. I wouldn't bring my. No, I've seen men, sir. I've seen men.
What's wrong with that?
It's
doing what your parents are doing.
You guys catch that? You're 15 years old. You don't know nothing. You're only doing what your parents tell you. If you're going to use that as your fucking argument, then that's your argument. You can't say to this 15-year-old student, you're 15 years old, you don't know what you're doing, but the kid inside this building who's 8 years old on hormones and puberty blockers and taking testosterone or whatever the fuck they're on, they know what they're doing. They know the decisions they're making for the rest of their life. But you, who's twice their age almost, you're too young. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just spitting your parents' rhetoric back out.
You always hate on people.
Did you hear that? He just said at 15, she doesn't know anything. Then why are we giving 10-year-olds puberty blockers?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I didn't even state my name. Yes, it is our business.
Sir.
Harming children is child abuse.
Sir, would you let the 15-year-old child talk to you or no? You cut her up. Oh, that's really nice.
No, you don't want reasonable discussion. All you want to do is hate and stuff it down.
That's nice to say.
That's a medical issue.
Just prove
That's
it.
a medical
That a
issue.
10-year-old
It's
shouldn't
none of your
be
business.
thinking.
It's a
A
medical
10-year-old
issue.
shouldn't be
It's a
thinking
medical
fashion
issue.
fishing.
It's a medical
A
issue.
10-year-old
I want to
should
bring my
not
child.
have the right
I want to bring my
make
child
that
to a
decision.
trade show.
And you
I'll bring
just
my
said it.
child to a
You
trade
just
show.
said it.
If you don't like it,
said
too
it.
fucking bad.
cannot fucking be here to protest it. Every fucking time.
Feel like a man yelling at me.
Feel
like a fucking man.
Till it's fucking over with. This is trial to be. Keep drag 9.
Feel like a man. Big fucking man. You don't even know how to
I'm
read
glad
it.
he knows at 15 that she's a baby.
I know.
I'm so glad he
her
just
like
said
a
that.
new
What's
Let's
that?
make her like the new thing.
Oh, yeah.
He just proved my point.
That lady is crazy. She was just going, woo, and spinning around in circles for 2 hours straight. I'm like, yo, you need to borrow some Zoloft from Rachel. Like, chill out. You're okay. You're going to make it. You're going to make it.
Your goddamn. We'll worry about something else.
Yeah, my audio started getting all choppy there for some reason at the towards the end of that. Yeah, so you know, that's that. What an interesting experience. Like, where did we go wrong as a country? How is this happening? You know, how did we not see this sick, twisted agenda come to fruition when they started to take religion out of our classrooms, when they started to change our national anthem, when they started to cancel Canada Day? How did we not see this coming? Sometimes I look at myself and I want to give myself a little smack and say, how the hell did you not see this coming sooner than it did? This whole world is like living in a movie right now. You know, you're not safe unless you take this. If you don't take a vaccine, you're more likely to crash your car. But if you take kids to a show like that, what do you think they're more likely for? What do you think's more likely to happen? My buddy Kevin says, I love how hateful old man is, holding a sign that says, I won't side with hate. The irony. That is good, Kev. I was so disturbed by everything he was saying. I don't think I even took the time to read his sign. But let's prop out of this. Let's get out of this. Hold on a sec, folks. We are going to get out of that. And what do I want to do here? We got... Here we go. So now I want to show you guys, and you can, remember that we called it now. And it's not like I called it. Everyone sees what's going on with this shit. Right? We all know what's going on, and everything they do is being done by design. So, intentionally, there's drag brunches going on around the country. Here's one that was going on in Calgary. Protesters met by counter protesters outside all ages drag brunch. Another nearby brunch event planned for Sunday was canceled due to threats. It's very clear that these threats are coming from people with the same views, that are realizing that when they make these fake emails or fake accounts and they make these threats, that it can just, help them gain leverage with this extreme leftist ideology that they have deep down inside. It's just so obvious, but we can see where this is going. They're trying to paint this country now as, homophobes, and everyone's, against gays and lesbians. And, the fact of the matter is this country's never been as inclusive as it is right now. So what happens when, that happens? They need to create new things to fight over. COVID is slowly fading away. So now we need to start talking about weather issues and drag shows. We can never tune out of the matrix, right? They just want you to continuously be tuned in. They want you to be continuously zoned in, and they want to make sure that you and your neighbors are fighting with each other. Because if you got along, all these elite people wouldn't keep on, making the money they do, washing the money they do, throwing it in the laundry room and getting rich while everybody sits at home and fights with each other. Hold on here. That was supposed to go here. No, here. Boom. I wanted to go to my page. So there's been a couple clips now that have been put together from the event. This is one that was edited. This now, a couple of these clips I'm going to show you guys are clips that were other people's videos who were there. So other people who were taking videos as well. This is the gentleman who showed up with a bunch of little kids to go in, and he's very proudly going on and talking about how he paid for them all to attend this event. And yeah, you guys can just watch this from here. Oh, hold on. Of course, the volume.
You want a hot dog, though?
No, I got enough hot dog at home.
Face and makeup? Yeah, why did they parade her like that in that dress down the full street? With the
How you doing, sir? My name's Joshua.
Hi, Joshua.
What's your name?
Jay.
Jay. Pleased to meet you. So you bought all the tickets, you said? I just heard what you
Yeah,
said there.
$35. And there's about 6 13-year-olds.
Okay.
Yeah.
6 13-year-olds.
You're
Like,
the interviewer.
so
that's
proud
not
of
an
that.
interview at all. You asked to be interviewed, so my first time. So,
You know what? You're not
So you-
paying me enough. I can't.
sir,
Here we go.
sir. So you're proud to sexualize young children? Is that what you're doing? This community of drag queen people are sexualizing children. There's books about it. Shake your bum bum. They're stripping for kids with dollar bills in their underwear. The one drag queen they invited to the White House says, "I like kids. They can sing and suck dick." Is that what you promote?
So do a little history research about why drag queens are significant.
I will take a hug.
Going to drag brunch with my kid.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
You want a hot dog though?
No, I got enough hot dog at home.
Oh man. You know, these people can't even conduct themselves accordingly. Like, I got enough hot dog at home. Saying that in front of your 13-year-old kid, like you said, one of them was yours. And you're talking about all the hot dog you got at home. Keep it classy. So also, there's an article that's come out in the news today. I'm going to call it a narrative crusher. Let me pull it out, actually, because I had this here so I could show you guys. And it's behind a paywall, so I actually went and bought it at the store. Let's see here. So hold on. Let's get out of here for a second. So here's the Tribune today. Okay. So this is our local newspaper here. And, right away on there, they put big resurgence of hate targets queer community. We all just went over this. I didn't hear any hate or see anyone who was targeted with any hate. And we know they're just painting a narrative. And I see my friend Doings there says, seriously, because some of this stuff is so ridiculous that we can't even believe it. Big resurgence of hate targets queer community. Guys, it's very obvious what these people are doing to us. They're pinning us against each other. Left wing, right wing, center, no matter what you are, we got to realize what we're up against here, because we're all up against the same machine. Some of us realize it quicker than others, but I just want to encourage people to, if you got family, if you got friends, man, try and help these people understand what is going on right now. I know we've all been trying, and I know all of us want to give up. It's insane. It's disgusting. But what's happening is disgusting. I literally have heard from the mouth of the police about how well this event went, how well behaved everyone on our side was. how tolerant everybody was. But the people in the newspaper can just come and grab this and they can take that away from you. And they can write the story however the fuck they want. And then they go online and they start crying harassment, saying people are targeting them. Because you're not human. You're not a part of humanity. You are a slave to the system. You are not walking with Canadians. You are standing in front of Canadians. And everyone's realizing that real quick in real time. So yesterday, me being the person I am, I can see clear through all this shit. I know what they're doing. I know what they're trying to do. I know the fake narratives they're trying to come up with. I know they came there to try and get a picture of me and call me a bigot and call me this and call me a homophobe and call me all these fucking names that they've been calling me for 2 fucking years. I don't care. I don't care. They're just names, just like Tom McDonald sings about. They're not true. They don't hold any weight. You're the piece of shit, not me. So I went up to the journalist yesterday, Alan Benner, who I seen there. And I started recording them. Because I know they would have put out a story and said whatever they want. And they didn't want to interview anyone who was there. And I said to him, that guy over there, that's Nico. Why don't you go ask him why people are here? Because it isn't to target the queer community. It's nothing to do with that. Although you would like people to think that. So I went up to him and I made sure he knew why people were there. And I made sure I recorded it while I told him. Because if he put something else out in the newspaper, I would have held him accountable. We need to make sure we're holding these people accountable and holding them to higher standards. So I went and found him and I told him what was really going on. And that's what's here. Nothing to do with this community, nothing to do with the gay community. I have a lot of love for these people. I have friends that are working inside there right now. Friends who have reached out to me to make sure they would be safe today.
You have friends working inside the cafe? Is that what you're saying?
Hippie chick?
Yes.
Yeah.
You do? Okay. And they actually called you to come here and protest?
Of course they did.
Okay. That's an interesting claim. We'll have to back that up.
Go ask Tino Berardi.
Okay.
I have no issue with the gay community.
Okay.
But maybe not you, maybe it's the government or whatever are trying to paint some type of narrative. And it's not healthy for media to be reporting that people are out here against the LGBT community, because that's not what this is about. This is about people's discontent with children being at these shows. Last night in Fort Erie, there was a show, and it said on the flyer, adult-themed drag show, and then it said, children are welcome at 8 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Maybe that's not something that concerns you. That's something that concerns me and a lot of other people, and a lot of people who aren't brave to come out here and say that. I would love nothing more than to be able to talk to everybody here and everybody go home and be friends and have a talk. It's probably not going to happen, but it would be really nice if people could not just report. Nothing to do with this community, nothing to do with the gay community. I have a lot of love.
So that's what I've been doing, and that's what I've done now since the beginning. Every single time I see a journalist, I fly over there and I record it, because they fucking lie. Now, I can't say Alan lied because he did put what I said in the newspaper. And I'm thankful for that, because it's been a really long time since I've seen a journalist actually do that. But I don't know why I said what I did. Nico said what he did. There was no violence. There was no threats from anybody who was standing up for children. But somehow the newspaper, somehow the newspaper can still put this as a headline: big resurgence of hate targets queer community. It's ridiculous. But anyways, that is that. I'm not going to sit on here and plug away at this all night, guys. We've been on here for quite a while now. Holy smokes, we're just about at an hour and a half. But I just wanted to go through everything. I just wanted to provide some clarity. I wanted to provide a link here that anyone can reference or can send to anyone, so they can go over what happened, see the truth and the transparency and everything that's here. Thank you to everybody who joined in and took part in this stream. If you guys can like this, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, give it a subscribe. I plan on getting a little more used to this, getting a little better to it, and continuing to put out as much information as we can, as we are in the middle of this culture war. It's pretty ridiculous. So that being said, I'm gonna head out of here, guys, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening, and until next time, I will see you then.